So today we're going to be looking at how to use the family budget worksheet that can be found at ourfamilybudget.net. Again, you just go to the tools page there on the website. It will be the first tool there on the page listed as the budgeting worksheet. Just click right there and download it, and it should bring up something like this right here. This will be your budgeting worksheet you can use to organize the finances in your home. And we're going to be looking at just some hypothetical numbers today and show you how to fill that out in case there were any questions. By now you should be up to number 8 in the series on budgeting your family finances. So we're going to start with your income. In the series we actually start with your expenses, and I'm just assuming that you have both your expenses and your income figured out at this point so that you can enter them in to the budgeting worksheet correctly. So you'll start with your net salary. This will be you can name this anything you want just by clicking on that square right there and typing it in. And you enter in what you plan to bring in for each payday. So this budget worksheet is fixed up for 2 paydays a month. So there's payday 1 and payday 2 over on this side of the worksheet. Now, company reimbursements, we don't get a lot of company reimbursements in our house, so what I'm going to do is just rename that spouse salary. We're going to put hypothetical figures in there, again for payday 1 and payday 2. All right, we're going to say we get $100 a month just once a month in miscellaneous income, and then we're going to say that we had a deficit last month of $50. So I'm going to put minus $50 in the rollover from prior column. Okay, that's going to show your income for the whole month right here. Continuing on down to the expense column. Now, we have our mortgage set up in an escrow, so our taxes, our insurance, everything like that is in one payment per month. It's our biggest bill of the month, and it comes out in the first week by an automatic draft. So we have that set up right here, and these are hypothetical numbers. If you notice, it's only in the first payday. That's at the first of the month. That is not over in this column for the second half of the month because we don't pay that there. And then the remaining categories under our expenses for housing are blank. These, the housing insurance or the homeowner's insurance, repair insurance, homeowner's dues. Not that we have all of those, but those are blank because they are all included in our escrow. Going down to utilities, we've entered in $65. That's what we averaged out, what we're paying in on a monthly basis to water, sewer, and electric. And of course, you leave the second payday blank. Now what you'll want to do is be sure and organize when you're paying these on a monthly basis. So our second biggest bill of the month is our car payment. And so we schedule that for the second payday of the month since we have our largest bill, the mortgage, on the first payday of the month. And then you'll need to coordinate the outflow and the inflow of your finances accordingly that way. So if you have large bills at the first of the month, you want to make sure and put all of your smaller bills at the second half of the month for your second payday to gobble up. Going down, again, as mentioned in the article, I've left some of these bills or some of these expense categories blank, such as phone, but you'll notice that I'll have a larger expense on cell phones because we don't have landlines. Groceries, if you notice, we pay a little bit more at the first of the month than we do the end of the month. That's when we go ahead and throw in the expenses for items such as cleaning supplies, dishwasher detergent, laundry detergent, things like that. We put all of that at the beginning of the month, and our second payday has a less expense going to groceries than that. Okay, eating out, we've got it standardized at $100 for the first 2 weeks of the month, $100 for the second 2 weeks of the month. That's figured on $50 for a meal on a family of 5. So we can do 2 meals once a week, 1 meal a week eating out as a family over the course of the month. Car payment, we have that standardized. Again, I've mentioned in the blog of some ways to save money on your monthly automobile gas payments. Repairs and tires, we put that in there for oil changes. Now, if you have a second car payment of the month, you can either insert another row here to cover that, or you can change one of these categories. For registration and taxes, that's once a month for us, and we actually pull that generally out of our savings, so we'll affect that there. Clothing, we've estimated what we're spending a month on this by looking at the average according to how we demonstrated to do that in the blog. life insurance, hair care, medical, gifts given. Medical would not include your health insurance. It would include what you're paying, say, for a doctor's bill, for co-pays, or if you owe money to a hospital for an ER visit or something like that. Our health insurance is actually deducted out of our paycheck, so that net paycheck up above actually already included our health insurance pay. Here's some more categories there: school supplies, child care, field trips, emergency fund. You notice we don't have a Christmas fund set up. We don't have real estate taxes fund set up or general savings. Right now we can't afford it, so we put it all in our emergency fund, and that's where we're saving there. And then the credit cards, we're showing there a hypothetical 3 different credit cards. We're paying them all at the beginning of the month, just because that's where their due dates fall. You can talk with the credit card companies and get those due dates moved around if you need to. They're generally good to work with you on that. Now, what this brings us to, and what we want to look at most importantly, is this whole month category. The difference right here. These right here are what you're wanting to see. Bring in an income of $44.50 and expenses of $39.50. That leaves a surplus of $500 every month. Now, I can tell you this is not real figures that have been entered in here. This is not what our budget really looks like. And let's say, for example, we have an extra $500 we're putting on this credit card number 1 on the second payday of the month, right there. Well, you see that deficit just disappears, doesn't it? Or that surplus just disappears, doesn't it? So what you'll want to do is go back through the worksheet and find ways that you can save money. Again, you can find all of this information out by subscribing to our blog at ourfamilybudget.net. Go into budgeting, and we have the series arranged. So far there have been 7 entries into the series on how to budget for your family's finances. And again, thank you for subscribing.